Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Gare here with another week of pickups for you. Once again, I had kind of a mediocre day of garage sales. Nothing too great. I got a few decent items, but nothing, nothing too spectacular, nothing to really write home about. There were actually quite a few sales today. There were several neighborhood sales. But it seems like a lot of people in this area, they like to go out early on Fridays when, most normal people work. And they got all the good stuff because it seemed like more than half of the sales that I went to that had video games said that somebody came by, picked them up yesterday, grabbed everything that they had. And same thing this morning. Somebody beat me to the punch this morning pretty much all day. So it was really frustrating. And then the community sales that I did go to, just nobody really had video games at all. I probably hit 80, 90 sales today, and I just kept striking out left and right. I left my name and phone number with a ton of people, so even if half of them, only half, or even a quarter of them call me back, I should be in pretty good shape, but, I never expect to hear back from those people. As a lot of you guys probably know, it's really, really stressful. I tried to push to get them to bring the stuff out there, but it just wasn't happening, so... once again, luckily, Craigslist and, other pickups that I got throughout the week saved my hiney, so I'm very glad about that. So without further ado, guys, we'll go ahead and get started, and just like always, I'll show you everything that I picked up throughout the week, and then we'll move on to garage sale items. So the first bit of things I'll show you guys here, this is stuff that I picked up online, pre-orders, Amazon, eBay, all that kind of stuff. So first up here, this was something I was really excited to get. I've been looking forward to it for several months, and a lot of you guys probably know what this is. This is the Halloween Blu-ray collector set. It's so freaking awesome. I was so glad to get this. It's got every single Halloween movie in it, plus a bonus disc, a little artwork book. It comes in a cool box, and I don't know if you guys, if you guys have seen this, if you guys own it, but it's really cool. Instead of the usual Blu-ray cases, it comes in black, which perfectly matches this. I'm really, really happy with this, and I got it for a pretty good deal. I think when it came out, it was supposed to be like $120 or $130 here in the U.S., but Canada had it on Amazon for like $85. So I fought and fought and fought, got them to price match that, so I saved quite a bit of money on it, so I was really happy about that. So definitely looking forward to going through and watching all these. If any of you guys have any interest whatsoever of me doing an unboxing, please let me know. I know there are several out there, so it's probably unnecessary, but again, if you guys want me to do that, let me know. I'd be happy to do it. Okay, another box set that I've been looking forward to, and if you guys saw my video last week, I talked about this. This is the Ghostbusters 1 and 2 Collector's Edition set that comes with the big Slimer statue. And if you guys aren't aware of the situation I was going through, when I pre-ordered this, it was $80 when it came out, which you can get the Blu-ray set for $20. So the statue ended up being like $60 or $70, which there's no way I was going to pay that just for a Slimer statue. But TurnerClassicMovies.com, they had like this really huge mix-up on their website where they were screwing up their prices, and I just happened to get this for like $25 plus $5 shipping. So I got it for just like a little over $30 or something like that, I can't remember. And they honored it, which is really, really cool. So I was really happy to get this. I'm definitely going to do an unboxing of this, because the statue's actually, it's a lot better quality than I anticipated. It looked really cheap, it looked really crappy, but I'm actually pretty happy with it. So very, very happy about this, and stay tuned for the unboxing on this. I'm really looking forward to doing that. Okay, so next up here, this is another NIS America pre-order that I did a while back, and I was really looking forward to getting it, so finally glad that it came in the mail. This is the I may butcher this, R No Surge or No Surge. I'm not sure how you say it. I've heard it pronounced a couple different ways. R No Surge, Ode to an Unborn Star for the PS3. Very typical for NIS America's kind of box sets. It comes with a game, soundtrack, artwork, and stuff like that. I will also do an unboxing of this for you guys, so also stay tuned for that. Also got a couple of other Blu-rays. This one I've been looking forward to for a while, just the same as the Halloween one. This came out, I think, the same day, if I remember correctly, but it's the Saw Complete Collection. I used to absolutely love these movies. I've only seen the first 3. I haven't seen the ones after, so I don't know if they're any good, but these are a lot of fun, especially with it being Halloween. I'm definitely going to try to run through these in the next month or so. And they had this for a really good price. I think, for all 7 films, it was only like $20-some. I thought that was pretty cheap. So there's that. And this was also really cheap. They ran out of stock and it came back. It's the Mission Impossible trilogy. Really good movies. I've only seen the first 2. I haven't seen the third or the Ghost Protocol one yet. But I think I got this set for like $12, so I thought that was a really good deal as well. Okay, on to a pawn shop deal I just did a couple days ago. Went in there and they had a whole bunch of new Blu-rays and games and stuff like that, so I was pretty excited. The first thing that really caught my eye when I was looking at their games is they had a copy of Pokemon Y for the 3DS. Complete and really good shape. And it had it listed for 20 bucks, but I did a bundle deal, so I didn't quite pay that. This I was really happy to get. As you guys know, I'm a sucker, huge sucker for steelbooks. Picked up Gladiator, the Steelbook Edition. I really, really like this set. And it was only $5, so that was a really good deal. So glad to get that. Another movie that seemed really good I've never seen, Body of Lies. And this one I haven't watched yet. I've heard really mixed reviews about it. The first one was really good, Taken 2. So I got those 3 Blu-rays and the Pokemon Y for 25 bucks. I thought that was a pretty good deal. Next up, this is really kind of a trivial, silly little thing that I bought, but it's something that meant, quite a... I was glad to get it. I'm kind of nitpicky about these things. Picked up a expansion pack piece for my Jungle Green N64. I hate when I get these things and they're not on there. It just looks really tacky. So I went on eBay, picked this up for like $6 with free shipping. So yeah, pop that sucker on there. And it looks so much better. Yeah, whenever the red sticks out, it just looks horrible. So I really need to get the one for the smoke black one. Those are a lot harder to find though. Usually you have to buy that. It comes like in a pair with the expansion pack cover, as well as the little piece that goes on the bottom. And I think the cheapest I've seen is like 30 bucks. So I don't know if I'll be getting that anytime soon. If any of you guys have a spare one for whatever reason, let me know. I'd be happy to try to work a deal with you on that. Alright, so next up is another eBay deal that I did, and this one I was really excited about. I didn't expect to get this lot of stuff for as cheap as I got it. I was kind of screwing around on the other day. I've been really into Sega CD and Sega Saturn, so I've been trying to bulk up the collection. And I'll check on there every once in a while, see if there's anything, search by the lots and things like that. And I came across a really good lot of Sega CD games, which I expected to blow up last minute, like it usually does. People will snipe in there last second. But yeah, I got this for a really great price. I'll tell you guys after I show you everything. Really, really happy with this stuff. So first I'll show you all the ones that came in the original cases. First up is Sherlock Holmes. Next up is National Hockey Night, I'm sorry. Next up is Rise of the Dragon. This one it didn't actually come in a lot. It was what actually came was just the Terminator, the manual, which I didn't have. Before I had the Terminator game and the back piece, but I didn't have the manual. So I was really glad to get that. I thought it was really cool it was in there. So I finally have this complete. Very, very happy about that. Next up is Brutal Paws of Fury. This one actually had the front part of the case, but I swapped it out for the Terminator. Some people call it cannibalizing. That reminds me, I am completely baffled. It's 2014. People have been game collecting for a long time. Sega CD's been around forever. I don't understand how nobody's come along and made third-party Sega CD / Sega Saturn cases. I can't imagine it would be that hard to do. Because they mass-produce the regular jewel cases for CDs. So I would think if somebody just came along and did this on their own, they could probably make a fortune, because there's a ton of game collectors I know that would go batshit crazy and buy a ton of these. I know I would. I'd probably buy 100 of them easily to replace all these broken ones. So if any of you guys want to go into a business with me, I think that would be a pretty lucrative deal. So let me know. But yeah, that just kills me. I can't believe I've been searching and searching trying to find those online. And the best thing that you can really do is buy a really shitty sports game for really cheap and just, like I said, cannibalize that and put the good stuff in there. And it sucks that you have to do that. It's kind of a wasteful thing. It just kills me. Anyway, sorry. It just drives me crazy. Next up, this is definitely the game that I was most excited to get in this lot. And this is actually what piqued my interest. Lunar the Silver Star. I absolutely love this game series. I'm trying to get every different Lunar game that there is in the US. So really, really happy to get this. Yeah, really awesome. Alright, next up we have Dark Wizard, which actually looks like a pretty interesting game. It's got some anime style to it. So I've never actually heard of it, but it looks pretty cool. This one looks pretty interesting as well. Never heard of it, but Dungeon Master Skullkeep 2. Wheel of Fortune, which comes with a very lovely poster of Vanna White. Everybody needs that in their collection. Another copy of Rise of the Dragon. This one, if you can tell, the manual has been extensively water damaged. Other than that, really good shape. So I guess if anything, I can trade this off or use the case for another nice game. And then the last of the complete ones here, Double Switch, which this one's got the Corey Haim character in it. AVG in game there. Tomcat Alley. And finally, Joe Montana's NFL Football. Okay, so next up, these are going to be the loose games. These are disc only, and they're just kind of in these generic cases, but still really glad to get them regardless. I can always try to track down cases for them, as difficult as that may be. What I may end up doing is just, you know, getting regular jewel cases and using the cover project just to print those out. Because, yeah, Sega CD cases are just, like I said, they're so hard to track down. Anyway, Echo the Dolphin. Echo the Dolphin, The Tides of Time. Another copy of Tomcat Alley. Another copy of Brutal Paws of Fury. Sewer Shark. C&C Music Factory. I've never heard of that. I have no idea what that is. Let's see. Mansion of Hidden Souls. Next up is Cobra Command. Another, I don't know if this is the same copy or a different version of this, another Sherlock Holmes. Dune. And finally, a really fun game, Lethal Enforcers. So yeah, like I said, guys, I was really happy about that lot. I'm just really kind of going crazy with the Sega CD, Sega Saturn here lately. Really happy to add some games to the collection to kind of bulk that up. I paid, I think it was, I got it for $81, shipping was like $12, and I had a coupon where you get, I think it was like 10% off of a purchase over $75. So basically my shipping was free. I think I paid like $82 altogether, which I thought was a really good deal. I was really, really happy to get those. Okay, next up, this deal I was super, super excited about. Last night I actually got an email from a lady off my Craigslist ad, you know, saying that I wanted to buy video games. She said that she had a PS2 Slim and some PS1 and PS2 games. And at first when she said the games that she had a couple action games and some horse racing games. So I almost completely blew it off, but, you know, I was like, you know, just if you could send me some pictures of what you have, and I'll try to put together a number for you so we can make a deal. And I was completely shocked and surprised and blown away when she sent me the pictures of what she had. I couldn't believe it. I was just utterly shocked. So basically, obviously I did the deal, so I'll just go ahead and show you what I got here. So first up is a black PS2 Slim, you know, nothing special there. Really good shape. Came with the cables, 2 controllers, a couple memory cards, so there's that. Now, this is the part that I was most excited about. This chick, she had really great taste in games. Almost everything that I got here was RPGs. So, and what's really funny is one of my buddies, Chris Morelli, and I, we talk on Facebook all the time about games, and we were just talking the other day about how he has some of the Lunar games for the PS1, and I was like, you know, I'm never going to find those. I'm probably going to have to go on eBay and pay full price for them. And, you know, sure enough, here we are. So I'll start showing you guys, I'll show you the PS1 games first. And this is the very first thing that I saw other than the PS2 when I saw the pictures. So first up here is Lunar Silver Star Story Complete. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the box that it originally came in, but it's got the game, all the discs are in really good shape, and you know, the little booklet that comes with it. So I was really happy to get that. That was really cool. But the thing that I was most excited about once I saw it in the picture, Lunar 2 Eternal Blue Complete, and it's in the box. It looks brand new. I mean, it's mint. There's not like a single dent or scratch or anything on it. Everything's in there. Everything is just completely immaculate. I was so blown away that she had this and took such good care of it. Oh my god, I was so happy about that. This is definitely going to be one of my probably top prized items in my collection. The reason why, when I was 14 years old, back in, what was it, like 1999, 2000, I went to Walmart with my mom, and we were poor, so you know, we couldn't afford to really buy a whole lot of games. So I always had to buy, you know, the greatest hits games or the bargain bins for like $20. And that's when I picked up Final Fantasy VII, because it was in the bargain bin. It was only $20. And I saw this there. I wanted it so freaking bad, but, you know, it was like, I think it was like $50 or $60, and she couldn't afford to get it for me. And I just never got around to buying it. So for all these years since then, you know, it's been, what is that, 14 years, I've wanted it so bad, and I'm just so glad to finally get it. I'll stop gushing about it, but I just wanted you guys to understand why I was so happy. So got that. And these games aren't really, you know, anything too exciting or anything, but I was still glad to get them nonetheless. They'll be good trade bait. I already have them, so if you guys want to trade for them, let me know. Final Fantasy VIII, Greatest Hits, complete, really good shape. And Final Fantasy IX, same thing, complete, really good shape. And then now we'll move on to the PS2 games. I was actually surprised. I mean, she's got some decent PS2 games in there, and the horse racing games, I can't believe how much they're worth. I mean, they're not like a ludicrous amount, but just more than I expected. So anyway, first up here is Suikoden 3, which unfortunately, it's disc only in a generic case. I really wish it was complete with the original case, but still happy to get it. I'll probably end up like trading that off and selling it so I can upgrade to the full complete one. But anyway, next up is Final Fantasy 12, Star Ocean Till the End of Time, Dragon Quest VIII Journey to the Cursed King. Now these are the games that I was just amazed at how much they were worth. I thought they'd be worth a couple bucks a piece, but some of them are like 10 or 15, 20 bucks each. Gallop Racer 2003, A New Breed. Gallop Racer 2004. Gallop Racer 2001. G1 Jockey 3. I guess she had a thing for horses. I don't know. And then the last one here is Gallop Racer 2006. Disc only, unfortunately. But yeah, those, I've never seen these before. I've never heard of them. So it's nice to add some more games to the PS2 collection. Then she also had a Game Shark for the original PlayStation, which I didn't have, so that's kind of cool to get. And then the last item here, it's an action replay for the PlayStation 2, which I've actually never heard of this, so I assume it's basically like a Game Shark kind of a deal. Okay, so on to the last items of this lot that I got. She also had some strategy guides for these games, which I was really happy to get. Some of them I had, some of them I didn't, though. And some of them, are really, really great to get, so very, very glad about these as well. So first up is Lunar Silver Star Story Complete. I've never actually seen this guide before, so I was really, really happy to get that. This one, I really wish she still had the game for. She said she didn't know where it went. She might have just lost it. Vanguard Bandits. Another PS1 RPG I would love to get at some point. But it's still really cool to get the manual, or the guide for it. Next up is Star Ocean Till the End of Time. Final Fantasy 12. This one's the most useless freaking guide I've ever seen. Final Fantasy 9. I feel so sorry for people that bought this when it came out, thinking that it was actually going to help them out. If you guys don't know anything about it, basically what it does, they were trying to use some new play online system where it'll give you a little bit of information, but they basically have you log into this website to get the rest of the information, so this thing's just pretty much useless. It's still cool to have, but I feel bad for people that paid full price for this. This one I was really happy to get, Xenosaga Episode 1. Another game that I kind of wish she had. I already have this, but it would have been nice to get in the lot. Wild Arms 4. Lunar Silver Star Story Complete. Really happy to get that one as well. This one I'm happy to get, but as you can tell on the side, it's pretty jacked up. But, I don't have it, so still happy nonetheless. The guide for Dragon Quest VIII. And finally, another one that I already had, Final Fantasy VIII. Okay, so that's everything for that lot. Like I said, that was an amazing find. I'm just so very glad that she contacted me, because there are other people in this area that have wanted ads, and I'm very, very glad that she contacted me instead of everybody else. She initially wanted 150 bucks for, which was, pretty fair for what's in this lot. But then she told me she lives about 40 minutes away, and she didn't drive, so I was going to have to drive all the way there to get it. I didn't know what kind of condition these were in. I mean, they looked nice in the picture, but they weren't the best. So I just kind of threw a number of $80 out there, and she countered with 100 bucks. So we ended up just working on that, which I was more than happy to pay. I would have paid a little bit more for it, because some of these games I just really desperately wanted. So I thought $100 was a very fair deal, very happy with it. She was happy with it, so... yeah, I was in hog heaven last night. I came home, I was singing. Very, very happy. Okay, guys, so that's everything that I picked up over the last week. Like I said, some really great items. I'm very, very happy with the stuff I picked up as far as that goes. So now we'll work on to the garage sale items that I picked up. Before we do that, I just want to say I'm very glad I didn't have to deal with the douchebag of the week. I've seemed to have been doing that quite a bit lately. But fortunately, everybody I worked with this week were really great, so very, very glad about that. But yeah, so like I said, we'll go ahead and I'll show you the garage sale items. And like I said earlier, nothing too spectacular. I did get some, pretty decent items for some pretty good prices, but, just nothing as epic as CJR has been picking up here lately. I cannot believe how much stuff he's still finding this time of year. It just blows me away. So anyway, the first little lot here went up to a sale. I actually wasn't even mapped on my little, it wasn't plotted on my route that I had planned. So I just kind of saw it, stopped by, and it seems like here lately, those kind of sales where I'm not planning to go them, I just see them, as I'm driving around, those are usually where I score the best deals. So anyway, I went up. The only thing I saw was a PS2 and some really crappy games. And it was a Hispanic family, so they didn't speak the best English, so the conversation was pretty rough. I tried to speak some Spanish here and there. I don't speak very well like I used to. It's been a long time, so it was probably really pitiful. I'm sure they laughed at me when I left. But anyway, I asked if they had any other gaming systems, like Game Boys, GameCube, because they had a couple little kids. Little boy heard Game Boy, so he ran inside all excited. Came out with a Game Boy Advance, and some pretty decent games. So anyway, he came out with this silver Game Boy Advance SP. If you can see it there, it's really scratched on the front. But, as always, the inside's in really good shape. It powers on just fine. So, got that, and some pretty decent little games here. I didn't have any of them, so... first up is Banjo-Kazooie Grunty's Revenge. Next up is Ice Age 2 The Meltdown. This was obviously the one I was most excited to get. Very happy about it. Pokemon Sapphire. And the last one here is Kim Possible 2 Draken's Demise. And when the boy came out and asked, I asked him how much he wanted for it. He said $5. I was like, you know what, I'll give you 10 for it. That's some pretty decent stuff here, and I don't want to rip you off. So he got a big smile on his face. He was really happy about that. And then I went over to the PS2 Slim. It was complete, in pretty good shape. They had $20 marked on it. But the dad was pretty impressed, that I gave his son more for it. So they basically took $20 for everything, which I thought was a really good deal. I was really happy about it. And it was nice to kind of practice my Espanol, so that was kind of nice. Alright, so next up here, nothing special at all, just some more PS2 games. As I've said before, I wasn't going to go for a complete PS2 collection, but at this point, I've got so many, I might as well try. So at this point, if I can get a complete PS2 game that I don't have for a good price, I'll pick it up. And that's what these are, basically. So first up here is Dark Angel. The next one is Tetris Worlds. And the last one here is Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. These were only $1 a piece, and like I said, they're in really good shape, they're complete, it's the only reason I picked them up. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy to add a few more to the collection. I'm getting I think I'm up to a little, maybe at 600 right now, so it's definitely getting there, but sadly enough, even at 600, that's like, I think about a third of how many games there are for the US. It's just absurd. I think if I actually did get a complete PS2 collection, it would take up this whole side of the room. It's insane how many there are. Okay, next little item here. This is the only gaming thing they had at the sale. I wish they had more. It's a Super Mario 3DS XL case. It's a hard little case. It's pretty cool. I've actually never seen anything like this before. You open it up. It's got a spot for the 3DS XL. Pop this little thing down. It holds some games and stuff like that. It's got Yoshi on it. I absolutely freaking adore Yoshi. So. $3, I thought was a pretty good deal on this. I asked if they had, the DS system or any games, but obviously the kids are holding on to them, so no luck there. Next up here, this is obviously the best thing that I found today. Went to a sale, and when I went there, all the things that they had outside were girl clothes and baby toys. And, most people would probably see that and take off, but I always ask just to be safe. So I went up, asked if they had any video games. And the guy there, he's probably a little bit older than me. He said he had some stuff that he was willing to let go of that he doesn't play anymore. So he went and brought it out to me. And there were some pretty decent items here, and I got these for a pretty good price, so I was pretty happy with it. And he said he's got more. He said he's going to call me, but we'll kind of see. He said he's got a Commodore 64 in the box, a Amiga. He said he had a lot of really cool stuff. So anyway, Game Boy Color NFL Blitz. I don't remember if I have that or not, but it was 50 cents. A few N64 games he was willing to let go of. Monster Truck Madness 64. WCW Mayhem. And WCW Nitro. Nothing spectacular at all, but they're games I didn't have, and those were only $1 a piece. The only PS1 game that he had that I had any interest in was a Black Label Final Fantasy VII. I'm always down to pick these up. It doesn't have the manual, unfortunately, but I've got several copies of this, so if you want to trade for it, let me know. And then finally, onto... He actually had quite a few SNES and NES games, but he wanted to hold on to most of them. But these are the ones he said he doesn't play, so he was willing to let go of. And I got these for $3 a piece, which I thought was pretty fair. So first up is Turbo Racing, which I'd never heard of before. This I was really happy to get. A gold Legend of Zelda, and it is absolutely perfect. I mean, there's not one ding on this thing. It's probably actually in better shape than mine, so I'll probably swap this out. But yeah, it's just absolutely fantastic. It looks brand new. Ultimate Basketball. Ninja Gaiden. I really need to get the third one. I still have not gotten a copy of that. I can't seem to track one down for a decent price. Sky Shark, which I had never heard of before either, so that was a new one for me. Awesome, awesome game, Batman. And finally, this one I'm kind of mixed on, but Blaster Master. So yeah, like I said, nothing too spectacular other than the Zelda game, but I got these for a pretty good price. I was pretty happy with it. It was actually, I think, the last sale that I went to, so it kind of helped make up for a lack of what I didn't get today. Alright, next up here, this is nothing special at all, just a couple of DVD seasons here. I love this show. I mean, I think or most people do. Everybody loves Raymond. Really good show. I'm a really big fan of it. 2 seasons of it, $3 a piece. I couldn't pass it up. I know it's on TV, like, all the freaking time, but I'm the kind of person where if I watch a TV show, I want to watch it from the beginning all the way through. And for me, it's just easier to do it this way. So, really happy to pick these up. Okay, guys, so on to the last items of garage sailing that I got here. First up, this is the very first thing that I saw, and it's just a Luigi costume for Halloween. It was only $2. My daughter, she keeps going back and forth between being Luigi for Halloween or a princess, or I don't know, she changes her mind every week. So, I went ahead and picked it up. If anything, she can just wear it around the house for fun. We can be goofballs. So, I thought that was pretty cool. I asked if they had any video game stuff, which they did, just nothing too grand or spectacular. So the first thing they brought out that caught my interest was Dark Cloud for the PS2. Obviously, it's just in a generic case, so it's disc only, but it's only 75 cents. Same thing with this, another PS2 complete game, really cheap. Hot Shots Golf 4. They had a Wii Fit, board and game and everything like that, which they were asking like $50 for, which I wasn't going to pay. And CJR made the point where the points for that, I think it comes with like 100 points on Club Nintendo. So I just asked them if I could have it, and they were nice enough to give it to me, so they just let me stuff it in there. So that was really cool of them to do. Alright, next up, I don't usually buy PC games very often, but for this series, I was willing to make an exception, especially for $1. It's Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. I've never played this game, and these kind of games overwhelm me just because there's so much to do. The worlds are so open and vast. I have ADD so freaking bad. These kind of games are just impossible for me to play. There's just too much to do. I like linear games. I don't want them to be too linear. I want some room to explore and do things, but these kind of games just overwhelm me completely. But it was still a cool little box set. It was really cheap, so picked it up. And then I picked up a guide for the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. I don't have this game, and I thought it was kind of weird that they had the guide for this and not for that, and then vice versa. But again, it was only 75 cents, and I love these kind of guides. They just look cool, so I went ahead and picked that up as well. Alright guys, so that's everything that I have this week. Like I said, I'm pretty happy with the week altogether. Pretty good stuff, a lot of great stuff added to the collection. I am very rapidly running out of room in my game room. I have stuff. I had this room all picked up. It looked great, and now it's back to getting just shit everywhere.
Oh god, shit everywhere.
So I'm gonna start downsizing. I'm gonna start getting rid of some stuff. So if any of you guys are big Xbox fans, I have a whole stack of Xbox games I'm gonna get rid of. I decided for the system, I'm just gonna keep Xbox exclusives or games that are, predominantly better for that system or, more sought after. So, like I said, I'm going to get that updated on my trade list, and you guys are, if you guys want to work out a trade, let me know. I'd be happy to do that. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here I should probably just try to downsize and get rid of. Also, as far as the 500 subscriber contest, I want to thank you guys all for doing it. You know, I got a lot of great comments. I've spent a lot of time reading through all those, trying to, you know, reply to them. And I really enjoyed reading your guys' stories. They were really fun to read, and it meant a lot to me you guys took time to do that. So thank you so very much. The contest will close tonight, so I am going to get that done tomorrow. You know, I'll get all the names put together, pick out a winner, and get that all taken care of. So definitely stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's all I have this week, guys. So thank you again so very much for watching. As always, I truly appreciate it. You guys are totally awesome, and I will see you next time. So take care.